program I was in was run by the VA, and it had a component where the first year you did basically what would be lab animal medicine training, and then you were either approved to go on for a master's or a PhD. I had some interesting experiences in that first year. One was on every Friday I would take the train into downtown Chicago and go to work at the place called the Biomedical Institute, which was the top 2 floors of the AMA headquarters. And one of the founding fathers of laboratory animal science, non-DVM, George Collins, was the manager there. And so this was a very interesting place in that what the AMA had done was they hired a bunch of Nobel laureates and let them do research and gave them a big salary with no strings attached. And so it was kind of interesting. Every day for lunch, we'd go down and eat lunch with all these very famous scientists and everything who were really very dependent upon what we did in that animal facility. And that was kind of interesting. Another interesting part of it is about a year later, the IRS ruled that the advertising revenue in the AMA Journal was not tax exempt, and guess what happened? They closed the Biomedical Institute. I also spent time 3 months out at Argonne where they were doing all the initial studies on the effect of radiation and working with a group of, and the thing there was these animals were exposed to a limited amount, like normal people might be, and then maintained for life. So there was a very heavy veterinary component in maintaining these animals over life to see what the impact of radiation was. Then when I was elected to go for a PhD, there were several options there in Chicago. Only one of them didn't have a language requirement, and that's not one of my strong points. So I ended up at the University of Illinois. And it was different then. It was different. There were a lot of animals. There was varying degrees of support. I mean, it was Darwinian, really. It was, but there was one of the things that was not, didn't seem to be a lot of approach to providing a research support service to the investigators. And so that's one of the things I thought I could do. In order to have an office, I had to be a clinical veterinarian while I was working on my PhD. And so we did a lot of different things, but I think learning to convince investigators that if we manage the animals well, they get better data. And I learned that really early in my career, like in 3 weeks after I was there. And that's kind of the basis of my approach to life is if you worry about the animal's welfare, the issue of compliance will take care of itself. So that was just kind of the approach. And we were just thrown in. It wasn't a mentored process. They just threw us in the water, and if you could swim, you swam. It was not like today, but things have changed a lot too.